After an unforgettable opening to the ESPYs, where the NBA's biggest superstars delivered a powerful call to action, ESPN, ABC, and other Disney networks aired a town hall meeting with President Obama last night. Our very own Jamel Hill participated in the conversation as family and friends directly affected by shootings and protests over the last few years were in the audience, alongside athletes who were there, all trying to make sense of everything that's happened in recent weeks. A thriller, of course. He's getting fed the answers. That was 11-year-old Miles Brown, who plays Jack on one of the hit shows that's ABC's Blackish. Miles is here with us now, and as we just saw in that piece, you were sitting with the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, asking him tough questions, and he needed your help. Yeah. From my understanding, you're a junior correspondent for the NBA. What does that mean? Jersey.
Well, I'm an all-NBA fan. I love all the teams.
Okay.
But I do have my favorites.
Who are your favorites?
LeBron and the Cavs.
Okay, yeah. LeBron and the Cavs, okay.
I just want to clarify.
Okay, yeah. Good. That's okay, good to know. LeBron and the Cavs. So from my understanding, your parents took you, they surprised you.
Yeah.
And you went to the parade.
Yeah.
And I also heard you left your shirt on. Tell me about the parade.
I left my shirt on.
Good, I'm glad you did. Walk up. Okay.
Boom, you need to hit the clap, though.
Yeah, the clap. You got the clap. Okay, I'm glad we established all that. Okay, so you also, that you are an NBA correspondent. Watch out, Cari, because my job is being taken. He also went to the ESPYs with Adam Silver. What was your favorite part of the event? To the NBA and play ball for the Cavs eventually.
Okay. So I wanna keep acting.
That trip, and I was commenting to him when we were watching this, it's a different Mike Tomlin. He just seems so happy and relaxed and not this stoic figure that we see on the sidelines there. Like anyone that goes and does a piece like this, there's always so much that's left out that we can't fit into our TV time. What did we not see in there that was a really great moment?
Yeah, so it's about a 50-minute drive, and you got and hot sauce and beef, and he said you could buy it for $2 when you were a kid and put it in the fridge, and it'd be 2 meals for you. So he was really trying to illustrate what it was like to be back home. And there was so much. We drove by a pool that he said was basically segregated at the time. Maybe not technically, but he said that black children weren't really welcome there in the late 70s, early 80s, and what that was like. He didn't learn ways to strategize, or the Boys and Girls Club would find ways to get tickets, to get free gifts, and just he was always a coach, I guess, early on in his life even.
When you were walking around with him, what was the reaction to him being back in his hometown by the folks that are there?
It's really there, like you said, if he's at a podium, he's stoic.
Different guy.
But in the locker room, he is a different guy with the players, so that's kind of what we want to bring out there. And people see that. He makes people feel comfortable and tries to rally people around that community.
You're going to be hanging out with us all morning long. He's going to be back to talk about some new players who might be showing up at NFL training camps this summer. And he's also going to head outside with Antonio Davis. And you just saw the list, the exodus that comes when you have to bring in a Kevin Durant. Festus Ezeli, the latest to leave there. On paper, everyone wants to anoint them the NBA champions. Obviously, that's what we do, Antonio. You look at their roster. They did have to send some guys out of there. If there is a pitfall on that roster, what would it be?
Well, it would be Brock.
Aside from the opportunity he has to start in Golden State, what was your biggest takeaway from Kevin Durant's comments yesterday?
I love the fact that, he seemingly took the time to think about this decision.
2016, 2017 edition of the Warriors are going to be just the third team in the last 50 seasons to have 3 of the previous season's top 12 scorers playing for them. As for the rest of the roster, well, that's something they still have to figure out. I think anybody would take that problem to have. Antonio Davis with us this morning here on.
Everything is free. Leonard Fournette saying today he's just enjoying college right now. But the LSU running back still trying to truncate his time in Baton Rouge. Excuse me as my microphone falls off. He's trying to work his way to an early degree, just a year early. His academics, the biggest player as he weighs his decision whether or not to declare for the NFL draft early. Get the degree, he may be gone.
Enjoying that scholarship life he is. LSU looking to bounce back. Lisa, who could forget that final home game? Les Miles carried off the field, job status uncertain. This season, expectations high. SEC Media Day continues in Hoover, Alabama. More now with our Matt Barry.
His sophomore season ranking with the likes of Herschel Walker and Bo Jackson last season. Leonard Fournette speaking today saying, man, everything is free. Fournette saying he enjoys college and he just wants to do that right now. But the LSU back still trying to truncate his time there in Baton Rouge as he works to earn his degree a year early. His academics the biggest player as he weighs his decision whether or not to declare for the NFL draft early.
As for his team, LSU looking to bounce back this season. And Lisa, who could really forget that final home game? Les Miles carried off the field. Job status uncertain at the time. This season, expectations high. SEC.
You know who D-Wade won't see soon? Pat Riley. An email coming from his former employer, but keep that duct tape separation line in good order. Sure, Wade has said he'll always love Riley, but like Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn can attest, any breakup isn't easy. What is easy to know is this: there's always two sides. And by that, I mean the public portrayal and the private reality. Cameras captured the former with the Heat's president's state of the team earlier today. Joe DiMaggio went 3 for 4 with a double, 3 runs scored, part of a 10-3 Yanks win in Cleveland. For him, it was just another day. For us, it is one of the most important days in baseball history. The sport's driven by numbers and stats, and DiMaggio's 56 might be the most iconic. The next day, he went 0 for 3 with a walk, bringing to an end what many argue is the most unbreakable record in sport. 3/4 of a century later, the legend of the Summer of Joe still lives on. John Brinkus has more. So strength, clearly something that Rory McIlroy has. Also something both the Cubs and the Rangers have. 2 54-win teams to start the day, sitting atop their respective divisions. But exactly how considerable is that strength? Only as summer turns to fall will we really have an answer. But days like today will be circled in retrospect. The Rangers regain a stronger Yu Darvish. That's the description by their GM, John Daniels, as he headed out to make his